if they're not taking it seriously enough to spell check, I mean, this is 2025, and grammar check, then how seriously are they taking their service?
Welcome to another episode of So You Want My Feedback, part of Feedback Matters podcast, blog, and YouTube channel. I'm here with my colleague. I'm Jeff Robbins. I'm here with my colleague, Rich Rafael. Hello, Rich. How are you today?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you, sir?
I am well, thank you. So, as people may know who have seen or listened to this podcast and this series before, we take a look or we review the feedback asks from different types of businesses. Now, specifically, most of the time we are looking at hospitality businesses, hotels, inns, restaurants, cruise lines, but occasionally we go a little bit outside of the box because in this day and age, every business is looking for feedback from their guests or customers. So today we're going to look at the feedback ask from a business, a non-hospitality business that I interacted with very recently. And specifically, it is a furniture store. We purchased some furniture that we needed for a room, and we went to a regional retailer of furniture in our area. Again, we will not name the name of the retailer because that's not really what this is all about. This is all about the methodology and talking about best practices and asking for feedback and reviews and surveys and so forth. And as always, we will read everything in addition to showing it on the screen because some people choose to listen only to the audio only version of our podcast as opposed to watching our beautiful faces. I always say that on the YouTube channel. So anyway, let's get into this. All right. So I'm going to share my screen in a second, but I just want to say, and I do this sometimes, it's like a spoiler alert because at the end of the day, this transaction and the interaction with everybody at this furniture store and their company and their delivery people was fantastic. The salesperson was great. The promise of delivery was spot on. Everything was done great. The whole process from beginning to end was just top notch. And so, and interestingly, as I was paying for my furniture before I left the day of the purchase and obviously prior to the delivery, my salesperson asked me if I would speak to the manager of the store. I guess that's just standard practice. The manager just wants to get some on-site one-on-one personal feedback. So I said, sure. And she was delightful and she asked how everything went. And I said, great. And I said, the whole experience was wonderful. And she said, you will get a survey and I just hope you'll reflect that in the survey. And I said, of course, I'm happy to. So just keep that in mind as we go forward. Okay. Yep. So again, the spoiler alert, or the spoiler, I should say, is that 100% satisfied. Great experience, beginning to end. Okay. So,
but I just want to comment on that one thing that you said with the store manager.
Yeah,
I'm glad to hear that she just said we, fill out the survey and reflect what your honest feelings were to reflect them on the survey. It's not like she had no idea how your experience was and came over like the car dealers do and asked, please give me all 5s. And if you can't, or all 10s. And if you can't,
right,
call me up first. Just a better approach.
100% better approach. However, we always sort of play devil's advocate in these things. The question would be, what would have happened if it was not such a great experience? If I had said, well, he told me one thing and it wasn't great.
That's
what would she have said
very
then?
Good point.
What would she have said then, right? She might not have sent me the survey.
Right.
Or she might not have told me about the survey.
Now that's an interesting point.
Right?
Does she have control over if you get a survey or not?
Well, all right, hold that thought, okay? So anyway, there was no email. Their communications was a little bit strange in that some things were sent via email and some things were sent by text message. And I don't remember whether I opted into receiving text messages or not. And I don't know. At the end of the day, maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But it was just interesting how some things came by text message, some things came by email, like the delivery time, the original delivery, when they gave me a heads up on the window of time as to whether it was morning or afternoon, that was originally communicated to me by email. And then the next things were about the delivery, like day of, like they use a platform, and a lot of companies use these days, where they give you like a 45-minute warning. You're the next delivery, and they'll be there in 47 minutes or whatever. That was all done by text message. So it was a little weird how it was back and forth between what mode of communication they used. So anyway, the day before, no, 2 days after buying the furniture in the store, the in-store experience, before any other communication, before any other email or text communications, I got a text message that said, and I'm going to read this because it's in a string of text messages, so there's no point in doing it. No point in showing this. It's pretty simple. Thank you for choosing name of the furniture store. Could you take 30 seconds to leave us a review using this link? And then there's a link, and then reply here if there is anything we can help you with. Okay? Now remember, 2 things to remember here. Number 1, I don't have the furniture yet. And number 2, I was asked by the store manager whether I would be willing to fill out the survey regarding my experience. And she used the word survey. She did not say review. She said, you'll get a survey. I hope you'll reflect, your positive feedback in that survey. Didn't get a survey. I got this. So I'm going to now share my screen, and I'll show you, when clicking that link, what you get. Okay. So when you click that link, this is what you get to. And apparently it is a review collecting site or web service. It is not the name. It's not the store's own website. But as you hopefully can see, it says the name of the store has invited you to review their business. Submit your review on Google or select a different review site. So there is a button to continue with Google or to select a different site. So let's see what happens if I click that button. Okay, so there's 3 choices: Google, Trustpilot, or Facebook. All right. Thoughts?
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's okay. What's the purpose of this? That you can choose one where you're comfortable with, or that you've used before, or
Fair point. Don't know the answer. Well, I'll click through them in a second. But remember, this is a couple days after we bought the furniture. We have not received the furniture, and the manager asked me to share my positive feedback in a survey that I'm going to get.
Right.
And this is not a survey. And I'll give you the next spoiler. I never got a survey, even after the furniture came. This is all I got. This is all I got. This is the only opportunity to leave feedback that I got.
Let's wait. Let's see where we go with clicking on these links. But I'm leaning toward giving her a break because she's using the word survey as just a general feedback mechanism that these might be, or that she considers these, well, again, what we're going to get to once you click through.
I mean, I know what I think I know what I'm going to get to. I'm going to click the Google link.
Yeah, you'll get to Google reviews.
Okay. So basically what happens is they have this set up so that it does a Google search for the store at the specific location. It's a multi-location regional chain. So that's in the background. And then there's a window that has the name of the store up here, and then it has my name because Google knows who I am. I'm doing this on Google Chrome, so I am signed into Google. It knows who I am. And then we have the typical 5-star Google rating options, 1 through 5 stars. And then just a text box that I can type in. And the prompt is share details of your own experience at this place. And then you can add photos or videos. And then you can post it at the bottom. And then there is an information icon here because below my name, it says posting publicly across Google. So that's what they're looking for. They're looking for a public review. That's all this is. And I'll click the information icon and it says posts may appear publicly with your profile name, picture, or link to your profile. Posts must follow Google's policies and so on and so forth. So bottom line, I have to go through all that is all they're looking for is a review. And getting back to what you said a few minutes ago, that you're going to give the manager a break because she's possibly mixing the words survey and review.
Right.
Isn't that a problem? I mean, again, we are very hyper-focused on this because of what our business is, but there is a distinct difference between a survey and a review. We've talked about this so many times, the private channel of a survey where the feedback does not necessarily get released to the whole world versus the review, which the purpose is to help other shoppers in this case, or guests at a hotel or restaurant, see what guests or customers think of the business. But from the perspective of the business, they should know the difference between the private channel surveys and reviews. And they should be interested in both, but they're not. I guess they're not because unless I was supposed to get the survey and I didn't, but we don't know that.
Yep.
So, however, I will go back here because it opened up in a new browser window. Oh my goodness. So I had said before that I could review it in multiple places. Once I clicked the Google button and got to the Google page of the business.
Yeah.
The page that I clicked off of from that review collecting platform refreshed the page to say, thanks for your review of the name of the store. And then below it says, get text about our best promos. Sign up to receive text of special deals and announcements from the store. And then there's a button to do that. And then below
that for 20 years. But
so I can only submit a review on one site. And then below that, it says, by clicking sign up, you authorize the name of the store to send text messages with offers and other information. And the typical, tech message and data rate disclaimer that you always see.
So you can't go back to the page where you had to select one of the 3 platforms for review.
Maybe. We'll find that out in a second. And then below that, there's a box that says run your own business ? Use name of this review platform to start getting up to 10 times more reviews. And then there's a learn more button. All right. Let me hit the back button and see if I can go and choose I can choose a different one.
But again, you're going to the site review page.
I'm hitting Trustpilot. Again, this is the Trustpilot page for the furniture store. Again, go back to what I said before we started digging into this. It was a great experience. We were happy about being asked about, what the experience was like before we left the store. I had no issues. It was such a pleasant experience. So I don't know, this again, am I too sensitive about how people ask for feedback because of what I do? Yes, I guess so, right?
Yes. I mean, we both are, over the years, we know that. It's frustrating to see that this business, first the manager didn't know the difference between a survey and a review. And they're not sending a survey.
Maybe she did not, or maybe I was supposed to get a survey, or maybe I still will get a survey. We're still maybe we'll have to redo this because I might get a survey. But there was one other thing. So wait.
How long has it been?
It's only been 4 days since I got the furniture. There was one other thing. So there was another text message. So as with all of these stores, they hire delivery services to send out the furniture. The truck did not have the name of the store on it. So I did get another text message just after the delivery, and the text message came a few hours on the same day of the delivery.
Okay.
This is a reminder. Hi, we are the guys delivery from earlier today from name of the store. If you received the survey from our service, it would be highly appreciated if you could complete it 100% the whole feedback. It would be amazing for us. Please, we will love if you could answer everything yes, because we need it to continue with our work. You could find the feedback in your Gmail.
All right.
Again, thank you for taking your time reading this message and doing the survey with a smiley emoji. To find it, just click the magnifying glass and type feedback, and it should be there. Not thank you, or not thanks. So, couple things. They're talking about a survey also. There was no survey sent by email because they're mentioning looking in Gmail. Didn't get it. And is that a survey from the delivery service, or are they also talking about a survey from the furniture store? I don't know.
I don't know either. I feel that I want to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they're using the word survey as a general feedback, something. But I got stuck on that one sentence you said. Well, please give us all, please rate positively so we can do our work or keep our.
We will love if you could answer everything yes, because we need it to continue with our work.
I mean, okay, so if you take that literally,
right,
they're saying that they may not get hired by the store to do their deliveries if somebody says no too many times.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's back. So that's back to the car dealer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the problem here is that I think that there was supposed to be a survey that I got.
It sounds like it could have got lost, or they're rotating them. They're not sending them to every single person. They may send them to a percentage of people, but they shouldn't send that introduction to everybody if you're not getting it.
Correct. So I don't know. So I think
I'm just thinking that we tend to be obsessive about our work and our wording and how we build questionnaires and stuff. And it just reminds me that if they're not taking it seriously enough to spell check, I mean, this is 2025, and grammar check, then how seriously are they taking their service?
I don't know. I mean, I think to that point, again, the experience with the store, again, we think that this is a separate delivery service based on what we can glean from all this. The experience with the store was fantastic. The experience with the delivery service was fantastic as well. They were great. 2 guys, they were great. They were professional. They were polite. They were great. No issue with any of it. So it doesn't seem that they take as much care in collecting their feedback as they do with everything else. And isn't that our main argument all the time?
All the time.
And yet they do a great job. So,
I mean, you're going to tell somebody, like you told me, but you can tell somebody, yeah, the store was great, the furniture was great, delivery was great, but these messages that I'm getting were ridiculous. It's part of the whole entire experience, as we have always said.
But to your point about how we're obsessive over this, Yeah, you and I are going to say that when it happens. Are people who don't do what we do for a living going to say that?
Not to the degree that we do, but maybe a little bit. You know, it's interesting though that you say that because, okay, let's say your experience at the store was great, right? And let's say your experience with delivery was not so great.
Right.
I know you will, but will the general public really separate the two? Or are they going to get that review link from the store and think about their delivery issues and just put it all together as part of their experience at the store?
I got the review link before the delivery. So I might have already submitted the review before the delivery happened.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Because in a way, the delivery, it's part of the store experience. The store experience is not part of the delivery experience, but the delivery experience is part of the store experience.
Yes. And they make a point of it's not just we offer delivery. You have two options with delivery. You have just delivery where they drop the furniture, everything has to be put together these days, or most things, I should say. So they drop the boxes and they walk away, or you can pay for their, I don't know, white glove or something like that service where they unbox everything, put it together, and then take all the trash away. And so they should care what that's about.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
I don't know. I feel like and again, this is their problem. Their feedback loop is broken because we're not sure if we've seen everything. And that's part of the problem. They may not care enough. But again,
that's exactly right.
Everything else was great. Or they're getting feedback in some other way, not from every customer. Maybe. Or I don't know.
It's hard to imagine in this day and age. I'm going to say I know where you shop. So a chain of that type and size wouldn't have a more advanced system in place.
Right. Yeah, it's a little surprising, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know. So I guess
there's too much that we don't know because there's a very good chance you just didn't get the survey. They've decided to not give it to every single customer for whatever reason.
So let's say this. So we can end this here and we can just say that if people are watching this conversation or listening to this conversation, it means that was the end of the feedback loop. But if this does not get aired or released, I should say, there will be a follow-up. So, I'll wait some period of time and then we can just tack it on and revise it. So I'll sign off like we usually sign off, and we may have to edit it at some point. So,
anyway,
so that'll do it for this one because we're a little confused and we don't know where we stand with this feedback loop, but something's definitely missing.
So even if the public doesn't appreciate that something is missing or doesn't care like we do about the confusion or just the way that they were presented with the options to leave reviews, it's frustrating that the store doesn't care enough to get proper feedback to improve their business.
It is. But to your point before, like if somebody asked you, would you buy furniture from this store? I don't think, I think, well, for me, you can say what you want, but for me, I would never, and I guess you and I are possibly the only people who would consider saying no because their feedback loop sucks. I would say absolutely. And I probably wouldn't even mention it.
You wouldn't even mention it, right?
Certainly nobody else would, right?
Yeah. So they're not losing anything per se other than they're not getting proper feedback to improve their business. And it's certainly easy to do.
But do they need to improve their business because they're doing well? I don't know. All right. Before we sign off for this episode, one of the things that we've been talking about is we got some comments where people were interested in seeing if we would tear apart their feedback loops. And we're happy to do that. We're happy to, as part of our consulting that we do, we're happy to have what we'll call a discovery session where we will evaluate somebody's survey or any other parts of their feedback loop. No charge, and then we can talk about what services they may or may not want to explore with us going forward. But if you want to have a private episode, I guess that's what we're calling it, right? We're doing a private episode that we will not do, not record and release to the public. We're happy to do so. So we'll leave a contact email in the description to get in touch with us, both of our emails. I don't know, we'll figure that out, but it'll be in the description, and we're happy to do that. Anything you want to add to that?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching or listening, and we'll see you on the next episode of Feedback Matters. Take care.
All right.